Hello indie game fans, I do like roguelites in all shapes and sizes, where I've already done a video covering upcoming action roguelites for the year, but if you're more of the cerebral type and want to think, strategize and optimize your play, here are 10 turn-based variants that I think will be of interest. Let's begin with Castle Morihisa, a deck-building roguelite that will look very familiar if you have played games like Slay the Spire, but this time has a fantastically done Japanese theme. The story setup is that you are sent by the shogunate to infiltrate said castle to verify if rumours of an attempt at a coup are real, where somehow mythological monsters come into the mix. The 4 character classes looks unique and almost as varied as those in Slay the Spire, which could mean vastly different playstyles and strategies, which is one of the things that I love about this genre. There does appear to be a skill tree as well, which should be part of the meta progression from run to run, but all of the above, combined with the fantastic art, makes me very interested. I think I've seen Wonder Stars on social media for quite a while, since this is a fantastic looking roguelite RPG with an aesthetic like 90s anime and Dragon Ball in particular, where it comes to us from developer Paper Castle Games, who also made Underhero, so I'm confident that this will turn out well.
My family swore an oath to protect any who remain here. I will not fail.
Another deck builder with an art style that stands out is Beneath Oresa, one that frames combat like a fighting game, but powering all of that is a deck building system. Mechanics here looks interesting, since your position on the battlefield, especially when fighting multiple enemies, does matter, and the card upgrades have a forking upgrade path, which means more strategizing, theory crafting and experimentation to perfect your build, looking like a very promising entry.
To put an end to evil, we need to know what lies beneath Oresa.
I've known of the Endless Wyrd for quite a while, first coming across this in 2020, where it was initially stated for an early access release in 2021, but that did get delayed, so maybe 2022 will be the year. In contrast to deck builders, this is a dice builder instead, where you collect a number of these mystical objects, rolling them in order to determine your possible actions for the turn. I think that we will be beginning to see more of these in the market, so it's a question of who can do it better, where if this makes it to launch, could be one to watch.
There was once a time when goblins were plentiful in these woods. These few, the last of the green goblins, are all that remain.
Fans of the channel will be familiar with Goblin Stone as well, one where you control a bunch of goblins trying to survive, with deck building, turn-based combat, and interestingly, a meta base building aspect at the core of the game, looking to be Darkest Dungeon adjacent and could be neat. I've also had my eye on Jupiter Moon's Mecha for quite a while, since this has you in first person in the cockpit of a mech, attacking various enemies on the moons of Jupiter. If you love games like MechWarrior, or series like Gundam, Pacific Rim and so on, I'm sure that this will be of interest as well, since you're able to fully customize your mech by swapping parts in and out, even having a damage indicator for the various parts of the mech, all with a great look, so hopefully this will launch this year as well. One of the most gorgeous games currently in development is Zoeti, a roguelite deck builder that uses poker mechanics at its base, which is not a new concept but looks well executed here. You can see the relics stacking up in the top left in the combat portions of this trailer, reminding me of games like Slay the Spire or Monster Train, so if combined sensibly with the poker mechanics, could be something great. Needless to say, I love the hand-drawn art, especially the character portraits in Conversations, where the almost watercolour look of the environmental backgrounds are impressive as well. My main concern with this is that I think it comes to us from a Taiwanese developer, but the trailer itself has UI elements in Chinese, so translation and localization will be important if they are targeting a Western audience. Also of note is that it was supposed to release in early access in November last year, but got pushed to March this year, so I do hope that the extra 5 months or so have given them enough time to polish things up. The developers of Sandwalkers made an excellent story trailer, so I'll be back in a bit.
The trees. From the sun, they gave shade. From the wind, they gave shelter. They filtered the water, kept the soil from washing away. They gave us life, but between two trees. Now the trees are so far from each other. I am Vavzez, teller of the 13th caravan of the Mecha, the only one still living. As it was for the 12 before us, our mission was to plant a new tree, to serve as a city for climatic refugees. We joined the many who failed in their task. May our experience serve you well, for it is now you, the 14th caravan, who are tasked with continuing the work of the Mecha. Escort your botanists to the ends of the world. Create a new haven that the caravan that follows you may go even further, and continue our quest for knowledge that will one day allow the 15th, the 16th, the 100th, to repair the ancient folly that made this world hostile to life.
This is a no-brainer pick since it comes to us from the developer of the excellent and similar Legend of Keepers, so I'm excited to see what's next from this team. A title with one of the best art styles and premises is Power Chord, a literal battle of the band's themed entry where you assemble musicians in order to fight demons and to reclaim the city one bar at a time. The 2D art does remind me of Darkest Dungeon, where the translation of musical themes and concepts into the cards is neat, and it does come to us from developer Big Blue Bubble, who last made the excellent action platformer RPG Forgotten, so the pedigree is there for this to be great. Based on visuals alone, it's hard to deny how attractive Astria 6-sided oracles looks, especially with the color palette chosen, which is in line with the theme of astrology. You play as an oracle, sent to cleanse corruption from the land, enlisting the help of sentinels and wielding the power of dice in order to do so. From this trailer, I'm a little concerned about the user interface since there's no text that I can see, which makes it clean and minimalist, but I do hope that there are tooltips and such to help along. Interestingly, you can choose to dabble in corrupting yourself to unleash special abilities, so there is an interesting risk-reward balance, and with 6 playable characters and upgrades in the form of star blessings, should have quite a compelling gameplay loop, taking the number 1 spot. For more upcoming games of 2022, Watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.